All right, we're talking sports with Phil Perkins tonight.
That is correct.
And Phil, I know you're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors. I know it's not a must-win tonight, but boy, fans are anxious after they've lost 7 playoff games in a row.
I know, and you can't fault the current team for those.
No, of course not,
those
but
4 straight
nevertheless.
last year.
Yeah,
You get pretty much 85% of the same team, but the ones before that, you can't really fault them too bad. But yeah, let's talk about those Toronto Raptors. They're giving me heart palpitations. Okay, today I took advantage of the summer-like weather. Strolled along Lake Ontario, took in the sights and sounds, watched the Jays at a patio, drank some water. Try to put myself in a tranquil and peaceful place because I needed it after Game 1 of the NBA playoffs as the Raptors lost, as Nick mentioned, their 7th straight playoff game, this time to the Indiana Pacers. It's just bad for my health. Now, despite the early tip-off on Saturday, Jurassic Park, as you can see, and inside the ACC, including the Platinum section, were filled and fans were ready to go, and the Raps led by 8 points at one part of the game itself, but then Paul George, coming off a gruesome broken leg last year, lit up the Raptors for 33 points. Toronto All-Stars Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan combined for 25. Just by a statistical standpoint, it's safe to say tonight's game is a must-win. 31 teams have fallen 0-2 at home in the playoffs, and only 3 of them have come back to win the series. Here's DeMar and Norman Powell on their mindset going into tonight's game, and Coach Casey on how to contain George. All right, speaking of the Blue Jays game, I watched this morning to get my heart rate under control. Really wasn't a great idea if you did happen to catch the very early first pitch between the Jays and the Red Sox. Jay Happ and the Blue Jays in the last game of a 4-game series taken on the Bo Sox at 11 a.m. on this Patriots Day, and of course the running of the 2016 Boston Marathon up against Clay Buchholz, who was 1-5 in his last 8 matchups against the Jays at Fenway. Bottom of the second, 1-on-2 pitch for Josh Rutledge, who doubles over to right field. Hanley Ramirez scores for Boston. It's 1-0 Sox. Top of the 7th, Buchholz getting some defense behind him. Troy Tulowitzki, short fly ball center. Jackie Bradley Jr. Time to shed the junior. You're a grown man now, doing his best Kevin Pillar impression. Still 1-0 Sox. Then came the top of the 8th. Craig Kimbrell pitching. Tied at 1 run apiece. Bases loaded. And Tulo walked. Darwin Barney scores. Jays up 2-1. That's the first bases loaded walk of Kimbrell's career. Same inning. Russell Martin singles. That brings in Josh Donaldson and Jose Bautista. 4-1 Jays. The top of the 8th took 32 minutes to play out. But still, little tight here. Hanley Ramirez singles. Travis Shaw scores. And we got a 1-run game. And the Fenway faithful went bonkers. With 2 down for Boston. Drew Storen closing for Toronto. And that man, David Ortiz, brought in to pinch hit. And Storen gets it done. Jays win 4-3. They take on the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles tomorrow night. All right, now check this, though. This fan over at Fenway Park, not only did he catch a abrupt foul ball barehanded, dude's got, that's right, thank you very much. I called him. It's like, make sure you put your foot up there. You got to show that you got a foot brace on. Not only are you doing that, you're wearing a sun hat, you're wearing upside down sunglasses, you're holding your beer and your phone in the same hand. That qualifies. It gets all the check marks off to be a part of my highlight pack.